Hey everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Deborah. Welcome to another edition of TEARAMA with Deborah, where I talk about my favorite dramas. And today we are going to be talking about episode 14 of Descendants of the Sun. Without further ado, let's go.
어깨빵 9-4 샷건 얼굴 따위로 아이돌 하는 놈 아니니까 follow me 하이톤 샷건 실력만으로 아이돌 하는 놈 암기 가서 나온 놈이 샷 두더지 유엔나 난 따라가.
Alright, so thank you, Jesus. Like I told you guys, we're not gonna address the preview yet. We're gonna come to the preview talk at the end. But like I told you guys, Yoshijin survived, so that's something I'm rejoicing about. So Yoshijin survived. I was really glad he survived. When he came out of when they brought him out, I didn't expect her to be able to take care of him, and I didn't know that they'd actually allow Kang Mo-yeon to treat him. I mean, they lost in Korea against that, but I guess maybe because he isn't her blood relation, they allowed her to take care of it, and there was probably no one else as qualified as her. But it was so funny because when she was trying to wake him up and she was doing the hat thing and stuff to wake him up, I knew he was gonna like breathe at the end of the day, and after she had thought that he had given up the ghost and all. But the way he like actually woke up and spoke to her was so shocking, and I'm like, wait, this isn't really realistic. Like, no one that was literally dying, his heart stopped. Like, it was, they had to bring him back to life, just gets up and starts doing everything that Yoshijin was doing. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But I was really glad he survived and all. But when he gave the guy to Kang Mo-yeon to take care of, and he's like, no, you settle this guy's situation, you take care of him and you help me perform surgery on him, it showed how much she trusts him. And I love how when she performed the surgery, she was sensible enough to seek out things, because she knew her boyfriend wouldn't have just sent her to treat this guy just for nothing. Yes, I at first thought he sent her there because this guy will probably say, okay, if this is someone that Yoshijin himself said to assign to me, then I'll be okay. And because Yoshijin thinks or believes that she'd be able to save him, but there was also something he was looking for, or he was hoping there might be something he'll be able to find, and she was smart enough to find it, take it out and give it to him. And I love how she trusted So Young so much. Like, there were other guys in black, like soldiers around, that she could have given it to, but she waited till she found So Young, the person that she knew her boyfriend trusted like no other in this world, to give it to and hand it over to. But I was so scared when So Young handed it over to the other guy to go and dissect and realize what's going on, that the guy was gonna bail on them and give it to the North Korean side. But thankfully that didn't happen. But I really loved how she just trusted So Young and gave it to So Young to handle and all. The Korean guy, the North Korean guy, I really felt bad for him when we found out his story and how he was betrayed by his own people and all. I expected that it was because of episode 1, how he didn't succeed on his mission, and Yoshijin succeeded in his mission. Because of that, that's why his country wanted to kill him, and then he ran away and came to Korea for help or something from the beginning. But apparently that wasn't the story. It was that he was sent on a mission to get rid of this Yakuza people, which it was basically the bad guy covering the bad guy's tracks and using him to cover the bad guy, using him to cover the tracks, and then blame it all on him and all. So I really felt bad for him, but I was so happy when he got his justice. Like when he was shot, when he went to go meet the other guy and his commander, when An Jung-ju, let's remember his name. His name is important. Yoshijin said to remember his name. When that means I am brave, like Kang Mo-yeon. Anyway, when he went to the guy and immediately he said that bulk with noodles thing, I just knew, like, I was suspecting right from when Yoshijin gave him the choco pie, because there's no way Yoshijin would just let this guy not go like that and just go to death, especially after knowing everything that happened with him being betrayed and all. So I knew Yoshijin had to have like a backup plan, something to get back at this guy and all. So I really was happy when Yoshijin Yoshijin was the one who sniped him. And when the guy was sniped, my first thought was, this guy is not dead. Maybe they put a bulletproof vest with like a drip filled with blood in it, so it looks like he was shot, but he wasn't actually shot, and he was recording what was going on. But thankfully it was Yoshijin that came and shot him, and Yoshijin looked so freaking hot in that scene, and so did So Young. And I just like how So Young was there having his back pointing the gun at the guys while Yoshijin was doing the sniping, and all like, oh my goodness, this bromance is giving Nirvana of Fire a run for its money. Like, no kidding, I have not seen a K-drama that has such amazing bromance like this. Which brings me to another scene in the bromance, the scene where they were sitting down and Yoshijin was talking to the guy about the buckwheat noodles. He was talking to An Jung-ju, and the commander heard it about the adding vinegar to the noodles and then adding hot mustard, and it becomes hot and all, and he was disgusted. And So Young immediately heard, he just understood and he just smiled. I just love how they just understand each other just by looking at each other, or certain things they say, they just get each other immediately. Which brings me to my next favorite bromance moment. My all-time favorite bromance moment was when they were in the room together and Yoshijin came back after going somewhere that she clearly told him not to go and all. But when he came, So Young came and he was watching out for him while she was coming, and he was counting down, and Yoshijin was not able to remove his pants before she came, and she came in and she saw them and she was like, okay, everything is okay, let me go out. I knew she was going to call back. I'm like, Kangmoyo, you are not that stupid. There's no way you would know that your boyfriend, especially when you're suspecting that So Young went somewhere, there's no way he will allow So Young to go alone. He will want to go too. That's just that person Yoshijin is. So I love how she came back, and it was so funny when I'm like, you guys are so crazy. Like, you're really dumb, but like, do you expect her not to know that the person in the clothing of the hospital is obviously her boyfriend, and that means the person underneath the bed is So Young? Like, she's not stupid. Are you trying to say you just exchanged tops and left your trousers and all? So I really loved how she found out, and she's like, I can't deal with you guys are dumb. Then she left and all. But that scene, and then when he told So Young how he doesn't want to pay for the window alone and that So Young should pay for the window. That window thing was just too funny, how everyone kept running away from it. Kang Mo-yeon ran away from it, her boyfriend and hopefully future husband tried to run away from it, and he's like, let's share, let's be manly, me and you, So Young, let's share it. And So Young like, no, I'm not man, I'm a girl. That scene was just too funny. I absolutely loved that scene. Next, now coming to the So Young and Myung-ju couple before we come to the Kang Mo-yeon couple. The So Young and Myung-ju couple, I felt so bad. Like, when he told Yoshijin that he gave his letter to be let out of the military, when Yoshijin was mad, I was mad too. Like, I was not mad, but I was happy that he was mad. I'm like, yes, showcase, because I knew Yoshijin was gonna be mad because he didn't tell him. It's like, dude, we're meant to, if someone was gonna leave the military, we were going to live together. Why are you abandoning me here? Or at least let me know. And what even annoyed me more is he didn't tell him the whole story. Like, tell him what actually happened. I left because the commander gave me this ultimatum, etc. So you could see how Yoshijin was so hot by it. But I love how Yoshijin, even though he was hot by the fact that he wasn't told and he was gonna be left and all, but he was still the bigger person to say, look here, go after this girl. You've been risking your life all this time, going on missions like that, has been sending you to crazy places, all because of this girl, and now you're about to lose this girl just because of this crazy reason. Go after her. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I was really proud of him, how he put his own anger aside and tried to help his friend. But I was like, okay, they're gonna go and make up and everything's gonna be okay with the So Young couple. But no, the writer is back to her theory of one couple is happy, the other couple cannot be happy, because he went after her and he did talk to her. I was so mad. But I love how that scene give the side character Dr. Song and the other lady, the nurse, an opportunity to understand each other. And when they were talking about the relationship of Myungju and So Dae-young, they were actually talking about themselves, and then they went on the obvious product placement car buying date. Which was really funny, but I'm glad there's a step in the right direction for that couple. I just pray that An Jung-jun, the North Korean guy, doesn't die, and I don't think he's gonna die, because you know the guy that we don't like, the minister guy and all, when he said, which was funny because I'm like, at least he did something right, even though now as I'm rewatching it again, certain scenes and all, before I go and rewatch it again after making this review, I feel the reason why he outed the Choi guy, the North Korean guy that tried to set up An Jung-jun, the reason why he sent the information to the general that hates him is because the guy was about to backstab him and not sign the agreement that South Korea needed. So he's like, well, since you tried to backstab me, I'm gonna hit you back and show you some pepper, so you know never to try this with me again. But that scene was really funny, and it was interesting how he had ethics for that. And then the guy was like, wait, what of the ethics of signing the agreement the way you signed it by threatening this guy? Like, no, that's political, like there are different issues, sometimes we need to do things a certain way. I'm like, sure, whatever floats your boat, boo. But that part was really funny. Now coming to our main couples. Oh, I'm really glad for Onyu. Onyu now has a son, and also congratulations to him. And I was really glad when his girlfriend pulled the other nurse's hair when she said that nasty comment about the doctor in the wheelchair. Like, I wanted her to slap her, but I'm really glad that Onyu's girlfriend consciously or unconsciously, or purposely or unpurposely, was dragging her hair. And also I really like that. Like, you don't talk to people like that. Like, if it was you in that wheelchair, you wouldn't have loved to be treated that way. Like, you don't just get away with things like that just because you're rich and all. It's not right for you to say things like that. So I'm glad that she got her own back. Now coming to our main couple, was I the only one? Like, I cracked up so much in this episode, especially the scene where she was telling him don't go anywhere, sit down and all, and he was trying to pretend he was sick, and she was like, sit up. And then he just sat up properly, like she wasn't buying his sick act, and all. She wasn't having it, and she told him don't leave, but he still left. That part was so funny. But no, I enjoyed every second we had with the main couples. I loved the scene where she saw the news and she understood, oh, this is what my boyfriend went to do, and she nearly understood this is what her boyfriend went to do. And then she came to see him, and then when they were on the different beds, was I the only one shocked? I thought she was gonna lay down on his bed, but no, girlfriend laid on a different bed. But I like how at the end of the day she slept in his bed. He used the TV, the movie thing, as a trick to get her on his bed and all. And I was really glad that they started that movie and they passed the parts of the adverts and all for the movie, because now he can use his sickness as an excuse. But I was really expecting an interruption. Like, I was expecting something to come interrupt them, but thankfully and surprisingly nothing interrupted them but themselves. Sleep interrupted them from finishing the movie. If I was them, I'd just give up on this movie. Like, I don't think you guys are ever gonna finish this movie. Just let it go, don't think about it anymore. But yeah, that scene was really funny. This episode was really funny. It was intense at certain moments, but thankfully Yushijin was okay, he didn't die and all. But the preview, now here are my theory. Obviously it's gonna have the funny scenes like we saw in the beginning, but let's talk about the preview of the other guy coming to meet her, and then So Dae-young going on the mission. So we obviously know So Dae-young is not going to resign. He's going to go on this trip that the dad is sending him to go. But I have, okay, these are my following theories. Theory number one. Let's start from the worst case scenario. My theory number one is that they're gonna go and Yu Shijin is gonna die. This is like my theory number one, so it's like my least important theory, the theory I don't believe at all. Like, I don't see it happening at all, because what the worst that can happen to him, as far as I'm concerned, the worst that can happen to Yu Shijin has happened to Yu Shijin. Yu Shijin did not die. Yes, they may have come to give her a report of him dying, but I feel what happened is he went missing, and he will come back to her maybe by the end of episode 16 or by the end of episode 15. He will just appear in front of her or something, but he definitely did not die in that mission. That's my first theory. Yu Shijin definitely, like I told you guys, after he got that gunshot and we got that big scare, which is kind of funny though, because when I saw that preview, I was in shock. Like, that part of them going on the mission and someone not surviving, I was in shock because I didn't expect the writers to play this card on us again. Like, you just played this card on us in episode 13, so I didn't expect it to happen again. But then again, I sat down and I thought about it, and I'm like, wait, this is Descendants of the Sun, the drama that's kind of trying to go differently from all other dramas, and that's one. And then two, this is a drama that is based on a soldier going to war zones, going on dangerous missions, so anything can happen at any time, and each mission he's literally putting his life out there. He can come back with gunshot wounds, knife wounds, his hand cut off in any episode. Anything is possible. So why was I shocked that they allowed it happen again? Why was I just expecting it to go smooth sailing after that? But that notwithstanding, I still stand by my theory that Yu Shijin was not what they came to tell her is, yes, he might have died and they can't find him and all, but he isn't dead. He went missing and he will come back to her. He's missing and he will come back to her, but they don't know that he's not dead. The military people don't know that he's not dead. They just are not sure where he is, or maybe they think he's dead, but he's definitely not dead. He's just missing, but he will come back to her. He's not going to die at the end of this drama. That's my first theory. My second theory, which is gonna suck for me and many of you guys out there who are Jingu, so the Young's fans, is that Jingu dies. You know how excited this girl was, what's her name, Myungju was, to see him, and she took off the necklace to go rush. She's like, he came, right? She didn't even wait for an answer. She just said he came, right? And took the stuff to run, go meet him. My theory is she goes and then she finds out he's dead. He's not alive. He didn't leave. Because if he lived, he would have come met. Is that correct? He'd have come to meet her first, and not her going to meet him. I don't know. Yes, they fought and all, but for her to collect the necklace stuff to rush out to go see him, it means he gave her the necklace before leaving. At least that's what I am thinking. He gave her the necklace before leaving. So regardless of their fight or not, they made up before he left for this problem. And I really hope they made up, because it sucks if he dies and they never made up, because she'll never be able to forgive herself for not making up with him before he left and he died. So my next theory is it was actually So the Young that died. Yu Shijin survived, but he's missing. But that's my second theory. Now, my number one theory is, or my third theory is, both of them survived, but they're both missing, and no one knows what's going on with both of them, and then both of them will show up and then we'll have an happy ending, which I don't really see that being likely, but let's pray that happens. Well, I see that being more likely than Yu Shijin dying though. but I don't see Yu Shijin dying, most definitely. Like, I can't, this is just me. I don't believe he's going to die, as in, I just pray they don't let me down, because I'd be so heartbroken if he dies. Like, I won't be able to take it. So let's pray that my theory stands and he's actually alive and everything's okay, like I think it is. But those are my theories. What do you think? Let me know what your theories are in the comments down below. Oh my freaking goodness, we have to wait till next week. When I saw the preview, I'm like, wait, why the heck did they show us the preview? Like, why didn't you play it last week? I didn't need to know that someone's gonna die or someone's gonna be missing. I was so mad, and I was so I was weak. I was just a mess of emotions. But this was a really, really nice episode. I actually prefer this episode to episode 13. I don't know about you, but while episode 13 was nice and funny, it also dragged a little in and all. But this episode was more interesting. It kept us on our toes. Even the bad guy we started feeling bad for, we saw a good side, not really good side, I felt he was paying back, but we saw a good side of the minister when he ratted on the bad guy from North Korea to his enemy in North Korea and all. And the funny scene where what's her name, Myungju, where Myungju was saying bad things about the commander. That scene was also funny. There were lots of funny light-hearted scenes in this episode and all, but overall it was a really good episode. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to share, subscribe, and keep being awesome beautiful people you are. From me to you all, you know, because I'm love for you all. Stay awesome.